Alright, once again, the sound should be working. I had to fix this one as well. Like I said, I was getting ahead with these videos and ended up making all of them on mute. So, but I see again it's moving, so we should be fine. So we're doing square root function. We're getting into something a little different. We're back on graphs. So hopefully you have access to a calculator. If not, use Desmos. I've been talking about that since September, but most of you should have access to a graphing calculator. So we're doing square root function graph attributes. So we see the parent function when y equals just the square root of x. This is how the graph looks. All right. Looks like a weird little graph, and that's how they're all really going to be drawn. So to find the domain and range, you look at the equation. You can actually get it just from the equation. So we're looking at number one, y equals the square root of x plus 3. And then on the outside of the square root, symbol is minus 2. The domain is x is greater than or equal to negative 3. I want you to notice something about the number. We see this number here. It is under something, technically inside. Think about it, it's like inside of parentheses. Inside tells a lie. So when we do the domain, it's just the numbers flipped. So x is greater than or equal to negative 3. All right? Later, we'll see what happens if there's a negative here and what flips. But for the most part, it's usually the domain is x is greater than or equal to negative 3. So it'll look like this. I'm just going to make up a little graph right now. It'll be like that. Okay, see how negative 3 is the lowest part and it goes all the way up to infinity. So just x is greater than negative 3. The range is y. Let's see if y'all can figure it out. I'll wait. Y is greater than or equal to. If you said negative 2, you'd be right. We just look at the other number. It's a negative 2, but outside it tells the truth. So we know, without even figuring out the x and y intercept, you haven't even needed to graph anything. I can kind of sketch one and see what it looks like. We see the range is negative 2, 3, so it's going to kind of be like that. Again, I don't know what the x-intercepts are, but that's where it's going to be. The lowest possible range is negative 2. The lowest possible domain is negative 3. So I know it's going to start kind of right there. But now for the x and y intercept, you're going to have to graph it, okay, whether it's Desmos or whether it's in a regular calculator, you have to be able to graph it. Once you graph it, again, this is in the TI-Nspire. I'm going to show you the steps. It's menu. So you go to Scratchpad Graph, of course, menu 3, 1. To type it in, make sure you type in the square root symbol, and under it put x plus 3. Then on the outside, minus 2. You got to be able to graph. I'm sure y'all know how to do it. Then to trace the graph, we have done this before too, because we were looking for x and y intercepts way back when. But just in case you need to remember, it's menu 5, 1 to trace. When you trace, you should remember it sends you exactly to the y-intercept. So we already have an answer. This y-intercept is a little weird. 0, comma, negative 0.268. All right? They're not always that weird. It's just the way this graph was. Okay? So it instantly sent us to y-intercept. This is where you need to use your brain a little bit. So if I'm here to find the x-intercept, if I'm here and it goes up like that, and I start, let's just pretend here, I know to find the x-intercept where it crosses, I need to click my arrow left or right. But you know, to find the x-intercept, use your left and right arrows. All right, because when we use cube function, you can either click to the left or to the right. You just got to know which one you're looking for. Okay, if the graph goes to the right and crosses the x-intercept to the right, just click to the right. I shouldn't have to, hopefully that's not confusing. It shouldn't be that hard. But once you click over, you find the x-intercept. It's easy, 1, comma, 0, and we're done. And if you want to scratch the graph here, you can, but you can see it in your calculator, okay? And that's how we find graph attributes. It should not be that hard. Menu 3.1 in the TI-Nspire, type in the equation exactly how you see it. Then menu 5.1 to trace. and it should send you exactly to the y-intercept, excuse me. And then after that, just click to the left or to the right to find your x-intercept. It's going to be called a 0 in the TI spire. Okay, don't click too fast or you might pass it. All right, shouldn't be too bad. And again, to find the domain and range, you can just look at the equation, but also you should be able to look at a graph and tell what the domain and range is. So moving on, we see y equals negative square root of x minus 1 plus 4. Watch what changes here. So the domain, that's easy. X is greater than or equal to positive 1. Remember, we're looking at this number. Inside it's negative, so it tells a lie. X is greater than or equal to 1. The range is y is less than or equal to 4. See what flipped? So it's going to really be like this. We're going the other way. Because of this negative, it flipped it. That's all that does. Okay, again, if you just, I'm doing it the harder way for those that want to see it, but really, you can immediately, when you see a problem, graph it and see the domain, range, x-intercept, y-intercept, and be done, if you know what you're looking for. But again, if you just want to get the domain and range from looking at the problem, I'm just showing you. So if you see a negative on the outside here, the range is flipped. Y is less than or equal to positive 4. Okay? This time, again, you're going to hit menu 5-1 to trace it. One thing you'll notice, is it ever going to cross the y-axis? No, it's not. So the answer to the y-intercept is none. I'm going to say it again. I'll say it every day. That's fine. Do not write 0, 0 for the y-intercept. If it does not cross the y-intercept, it is none. If you write 0, 0, that is a point. I'm going to think that you're saying it's going to pass here. It's not going to pass there. If it does not pass, this is, again, I'm just making this up just to show you. It looks like, oops, sorry. It looks like that. Y is less than to 4. So then we have greater than or equal to 1. So it looks like that. It never crosses Y. All right, if I do that wrong, sorry, I don't have the calculator on me. But it's never going to cross Y, basically. So the answer for y-intercept is none. You see, we're going pretty fast. It's not that hard. The x-intercept, remember, this time, menu 5-1, to trace, you click left or you click right. Again, use your brain and know which way you're clicking for. And if you continue clicking, you're going to get to 17, 0. Again, don't click too fast. Just keep clicking till you're about to get to the x-axis. Then you know you're close. And just wait till it says the word 0. And again, graph it. You can draw it out if you want. Again, I don't have a calculator on me because I already wrote my notes, but I know what it looks like. Okay, moving on. We got one more, and then you're on your own to do the worksheet. We see this one is y equals 2, and then the square root of x plus 1, and then on the outside plus 1. So again, the domain should be pretty simple. X is greater than or equal to -1, because again, we're flipping this. Inside tells a lie. The range is y is greater than or equal to 1, because we're looking at the outside number. Inside is domain, and it tells a lie, so flip the sign. Outside tells the truth, so it's just the same number. Again, you should graph it, type in exactly how you see it. Y equals 2, square root, x plus 1, then on the outside plus 1. The it sends you exactly to the y-intercept, so we'll do that one first. The y-intercept is 0, 3. And then again, I'm not graphing it right now. I'm just writing out my notes for y'all, but you should be smart enough, which everyone is, to realize that it does not pass the x-axis. So there is no x-intercept. And again, you can graph it if you want. And we're done. That's it for graph attributes of square root functions. So tomorrow we'll do cube root. It's going to be all the same thing. We're just going to type it in, and it's going to be a cube root. All right?